Hello students, welcome to Pyramid Erotic. So till now we have seen basics of HTML, how HTML works and tables, inputs and many more things. We already have seen that. Now in today's class we will cover out something called ID and classes. Okay, ID and classes. So what is an ID and what is ID and classes means? So when we talk about something called ID and classes, so see, I should write something called dot container here. You can see I'm writing just dot container, and if I hit enter, you can see a div tag came in, a div tag with a class of container. Inside div tag, I got a class of container, and now let's see some more cool stuff in Emmet abbreviation. If I write something called hatch, so just understand, dot represents container and hatch represents your ID. So if I write hash, and if I write something called box, and after that I write something called dot, I write red box, okay, and inside this, okay, for getting inside this I write something like greater than sign, I create something called ul, okay, with class name of items, okay, and if I hit enter, just see magic, what will happen here. Can you see that I have created an ID of box, and in that thing I have created a class red box, and inside this I have created a ul. Ul is unordered list, okay. Inside that you can create multiple list also. I just show you. This is something called box 1, this is box 2, this is box 3, and if I save this, if I come here, you can see box 1, box 2, this is unordered. You can see bullet dots here, and if you want ordered list, just go here and just write ol. Ol means ordered list. In ordered list you can see numbers 1, 2, 3, okay. So if you see 1, 2 and 3 in ordered pairs, okay, so this is your ordered list, and when you see bullet points, it's an unordered list. So that's the difference between an ordered list and an unordered list. When you talk about unordered list, this should be your bullet points, and when we talk about something called an ordered list, okay, so ordered list should be 1, 2, 3, it should be your numbers. Now let's change this one. Okay, now you can see here, if I come here and I write, okay, I just write something called list class of, let's go with something called item. Okay, now you can see that ID, I have ID, given ID only for one place, but I have used classes at multiple. I have used class here also, the same class here also, same class here also. So this means that IDs are unique. IDs are unique, means ID, you can't change ID, you can't change one ID with the other ID, okay, but classes can be used multiple times. Just remember, IDs should be unique, means once you use that ID, you can't use that ID again. It means if I have used ID is equal to box, I can't repeat this box in this whole entire system, okay. In the whole entire web, in this whole entire page, I will not write ID is equal to box again. So IDs are unique and class can be used multiple times. Alright, so now you are confused that why we are using this container, means class and IDs and all. So this class and IDs are for targeting the elements. I just show you. If I come here and if I write something called a style tag, okay, inside this style tag, so always remember, dot represents your class. If I write something called dot container, dot represents your class and ID represents your hash. Hash represents your ID, okay. So instead of this, I just write something called ID equals to item 1, I guess. We don't have reduced item 1, okay, item 1. Alright, so I just write something called item 1 in here, okay. Dot container, I can write, if I write something called color red, and in item 1, okay, first let me show you. because container is, just see here, container is the parent of all other things. Okay, you can see that in this div, inside this div there is another div, inside this div there is ul tag and a list of items. Okay, so this is your parent div, this is your parent div. Inside this all are your child div, this is your child div, this is your child elements. So this parent div have all these box 1, box 2, box 3, means all boxes should have got a color of red. So now if I come here, you can see that box 1, box 2, box 3 got a color of red. Now what I should do, I should write something called color green here. You can see if I write something called color, okay, and if I write something called green here, alright. So now you will see that first box is getting a color of green and other two are getting a color of red. This is because I have provided a color of red, but after that what I have done, that I have given an ID, okay, and I have given a color of green. So always remember that ID takes priority. Okay, ID has priority over classes, means ID has there are specificity order. Okay, we will see that in live sessions and live classes. I will make you understand all the order, how they are arranged and how specificity of all elements, all tags, all elements, everything we will discuss there. For now, just understand that IDs are prior to classes, means when we talk about ID and when we talk about classes, so ID is getting more value than classes. So therefore box 1 will get a color of green and other will get color of red. Alright, so you can see first one getting color of green. So we will discuss much more in detail in live session, but just understand what this ID and classes does mean. So you can see that classes can be used multiple times and IDs are unique. You can't use IDs multiple times. So I hope this is clear for now. So now just remove all these things. So now I should write something called dot box. Okay, inside dot box I write ul. So I show you some more emit abbreviations. So you can write items. Inside this I write li. Okay, and dot I write something called items. Just see here what I'm doing. Item dash dollar. Okay, and inside this I write something called box dash dollar into 5 and see what happens. Can you see a magic? Box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4, box 5. 5 boxes, class item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, item 5. There are 5 classes of we have created a list. This is the magic of emit abbreviation. So I have created a class div of class box. Inside that I have created an UL. Inside that I have created 5 LI with the same class and with different class name. Item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4. I can use ID also, but I will just want to show you what things can happen. I just show you the emit abbreviation for this. Only this line of code I have written, and after writing, okay, instead of 5, if I write 6, you can see 6 boxes are there. So you can see that just one line of code and this all magic happens. Okay, so dot box, inside that UL, you have seen UL, and inside that I have a class. Dot represents the class of items, and LI dot represents, if I remove this dot and I do hatch here. Okay, so now it becomes, yeah, it becomes your ID. So now if I come here, if I write 7 and if I hit enter, you can see ID, because I have used hatch. So it represents your ID, item 1, item 2, so item 7. So 7 boxes I have been created. So we will play with all those boxes and every stuff of that. Those for now, just understand that I have created a box div of class of box UL items. Inside that 7 boxes are there we created. So you understood all those emit abbreviation, how they are using all those things. So this is about your ID and classes. There are many more things that we will discuss later, but just now for your understanding, just understand this much of things. So there are some entities. Okay, after this I want to show you something called HTML entities. Okay, there are something HTML entities. That's not that compulsory, but just understand for now. Okay, if I write something called address of copy, Okay, you can see they are coming here. Okay, and if I save this, you will see that it's coming like a copyright. Okay, this is because of the container. Okay, I just remove this color here. Styling we will see later, but for now you can see a copyright. So there are entities. I will tell you to just Google it out. If you want something like greater than, less than, you write I just show you one more one or two. You just Google it out. Okay, I just write LT means less than. So now if I come here, you can see a less than sign here. If you want greater than, just write if I write LTE. Okay, I think LT is not available. All right, I don't know about this late. What is this latest? Okay, this I don't know. It's any sign. Okay, you just Google it out. Okay, go and Google it out. What is all entities are. Okay, you will find much more things. So one last thing that I want to discuss with all of you, which is called semantic tags. Okay, we already have discussed this much of things. So the last thing that I want to talk to you is semantic. Okay, don't go about the spellings. Semantic tags. Just okay. So what does this semantic tag means? So in this semantic tags, I just tell you what mean. There is something called a header. Okay. So always remember, when you write header, header is always on the top. Okay. After header, there is something called nav. Okay, it's for navigations or something. These all are something called aside. Okay, and after this there is something called footer. Okay, so I just tell you what it is. Header is means a nav bar. Side means a side corner. Footer means always below, always I just show some images, then you will understand more about this. So I just show you semantic tags. Okay, so I just show you some images so that you can have a good idea about this. Yeah, this image. So yeah, now you can see that this is your header, this is your main heading, this is your heading part, this is your navigation part. Whatever we want to see here, you can see here. This is your section, this is your section part. Whatever section you want to write, this is your article. Whatever your articles you want to leave, this is a site. For you have seen a web page. Inside that web page, first is your heading part. Heading is a header. Okay, this is for navigation bar where you want to move or something like this. Section, you have some what section you are talking about, this thing. Article, the details of that section. Footer is always below, like copyright. I have this means something like copyright pyramid edutech @ something like this. That's always comes in the footer, or some little descriptions or something like this. Aside, always you have seen that inside a web page there is something called ads going on. So inside this aside there's ads, or there is some chat options or something like this. There's also a side option. So this aside option for all this chat application or something like this. So this is your semantic tags. Okay, there are much more things. You just go out and Google it, everything. You just read out all the articles, all these things, that what every functionality do. Okay, in the live class we will discuss every sort of thing, but for now, if you want to know about more about all these things, you just Google it out and read all this in documentations. I guess this is this is enough, and that's what I have written here. And if I want to show you some one more thing. This is called details and summary. If you want something, right, you can write something called details, summary. You can have something lorem 23. We already have seen some dummy text. Okay, so you can see, I just show you what details and summary means. Okay, if I come here, you can see details and summary. Okay, well, I don't have written there. So wait, just a minute. Okay, so now you can see yeah. So now you can see there if I write something here. Okay, I'll just show you. If I write something here, okay, now you can see that whatever I have written is coming here. Okay, So this is something called details and summary. You just Google it out. Okay, better you Google it out and just read out all those documentation. The things that that is required for understanding HTMLs I have covered. I think I have covered all the portions. That is more than enough for understanding. You got a little idea about all these things. Okay, now whatever extra thing if you want to go, you just read out yourself. This is more than enough for now for moving to CSS part. Okay, for now we will move to CSS part and we will see all these things, all the CSS portions, and we will cover each and every section of CSS. So this is it for now, and in live classes we will expand each and every term. We will go in depth to each and every section, but for joining the live class you should have to go through each and every each lectures. You have to go through, you have to read it once each lecture before coming to the live class. Thank you for the class. See you next time.